really want to make science available to people who wouldn't normally be buying things like Scientific America or even something like Discover magazine. There's a very great belief in our society that science communication is available to all people. But if you look at the statistics of who actually reads science magazines and books, it's essentially a very specific demographic. It's well-off white men over 40. And there's nothing wrong with communicating with well-educated, well-off white men over 40. They're a wonderful audience. It's just that there's 90% of the rest of our community as well who just actually statistically don't read science magazines. So my whole career has been based on the philosophy that how do we speak about science and mathematics and technology to the other 90% of our population who are never going to have a subscription to a science magazine. And so many of the things that I've done in my life, in fact all of the things that I've done in my life just about, have been really driven by the desire to communicate beyond the canonical audiences. Because of this ambition that I've had, about 7 years ago now, I formed a little organisation called the Institute for Figuring, because I became frustrated with the canonical channels of science communication. I felt that the way that science was being communicated seemed to fall into very narrow channels that didn't really reach not only a wide enough percentage of our population, but I felt that there were many areas of science and mathematics that were being ignored by the science media. So I decided I would just have my own institute and do it the way that I wanted it to happen. And I thought this would be a hobby project, on the sideline to my career as a journalist. But basically it's taken over my life. And I'm going to tell you about a few of the projects that the IFF has done over the past 3 or 4 years. I should say the we, when I refer to the Institute of Figuring as we essentially means myself and my twin sister, Christine. She's a professor at CalArts. She teaches critical studies at CalArts. So we, as twins, when we left school, I went and studied physics and mathematics at university and originally thought I would be a research physicist. Christine went to art school and had a career for a while as a painter. And now she's sort of become an academic, and I'm the one who's operating in the popular sphere. But our careers jointly have been in the science and the arts, and the Institute, as it were, comes together and combines these two things. But neither Chrissy or I have ever felt that science and arts are really that far separated. So to us, it's not seen like a bifurcation, it's just, to us, they're two sides of a whole.